Welcome to Modern Chivalry, gentlemen. Today, we're about to unlock a superpower that can turn heated arguments into productive discussions, transform enemies into allies, and make you the go-to person for resolving conflicts. Intrigued? You should be. By the end of this video, you'll possess a skill that's invaluable in both your personal and professional life. And here's the kicker. I'm going to reveal a secret technique that even the most skilled negotiators often overlook. So stay tuned, because this could be the game changer you've been waiting for. Our topic today is master the art of winning arguments without enemies. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Winning arguments? Isn't that about proving the other person wrong? But gentlemen, that's where most people go astray. True mastery lies in resolving conflicts in a way that everyone feels heard and respected. Before we dive in, let me ask you this. Have you ever won an argument but felt like you lost something more important in the process? Or maybe you've watched someone diffuse a tense situation with such finesse that everyone walked away satisfied? Well, today we're going to equip you with the tools to become that person. Let's break this down into actionable steps you can start using immediately after this video. 1. The empathy challenge. Now, empathy. Why is it important? It shows you're listening and helps find common ground. Plus, it often disarms the other person, making them more receptive to your perspective. So your first mission is the empathy challenge. The next time you find yourself in a disagreement, pause and try to articulate the other person's point of view before starting your own. So your action step is, within your next disagreement, just start your response with, "If I understand correctly, you're saying," and summarize their point. You'll be amazed at how this simple act can change the tone of the conversation moving forward. Number 2, the calm demeanor technique. Practice maintaining a calm demeanor even when emotions are running high within you. Rage is boiling. Just keep it down. Take deep breaths and speak slowly and deliberately. Why should you do this? Well, the thing about the calm demeanor is that it has a contagious effect. It helps to de-escalate tense situation. It also helps you think more clearly and respond more effectively. So your action step is, the next time you feel your emotions rising in a discussion, take 3 deep breaths before responding. Notice how it affects your thought process and the overall conversation. Number 3, the common ground finder. Train yourself to look for points of agreement, no matter how small, in every disagreement. Why is this crucial? Finding common ground creates a foundation for mutual understanding and cooperation. It shifts the conversation from me versus you to us versus the problem. I like how I'm saying as if the mic is a problem. The mic is not a problem, but you know what I'm saying here. So your action step is, in your next disagreement, challenge yourself to find and vocalize at least one point of agreement before addressing areas of contention, of disagreement. Number 4, the question master. I love this one. Instead of making statements, practice asking thoughtful questions. This is especially powerful when you disagree with someone. Why should you do this and implement it? Questions encourage the other person to reflect on their position. They also demonstrate your genuine interest in understanding rather than just proving your point. So your action step is, your next discussion, for every statement you want to make, try to rephrase it as a question instead. Let me give you an example. Earlier today, I was rather in a heated discussion with someone I know. Let's call that person Paul. And sorry to all the Pauls out there. This is just an example. Now, Paul and I were having a discussion because one of us was inefficient. One always wants to get the credit in bringing our ideas together for this YouTube script. Now, Paul brought up some good points, like I said previously, and I agreed to them. I told him. But I realized that this wasn't the first situation or the first time that this event was happening. It usually occurs when Paul felt as if he felt left out and not getting as much credit. But I assure you, we were giving Paul the credit he deserves. Fairness. Now, instead of saying statement like, Paul, you always get angry whenever you feel as if you don't get enough credit. What about everybody else who's just putting in as much effort? I could have just said that and it would have de-escalated. Probably, it would have started into a full-blown fight. Well, this is in a meeting, of course, like a virtual meeting and not physically. So, I took around 5 deep breaths and I told to Paul, currently within this discussion, I'm feeling anger within me. But I've also noticed, why is it that oftentimes whenever we are bringing ideas and everybody else is also putting in the same effort and contribution as you, it appears to me that you feel as if you don't get enough credit. Why is that? Why is it that you are the person who mostly feels dissatisfied with the credit we give you, while others don't usually complain? I'm just saying this from an objective point of view. And then from there, Paul actually just went down from his high heels, paused, and reflected upon himself. That just shows how powerful this technique really is. Now, number 5, the solution seeker. Just focus on finding solutions rather than dwelling on problems or assigning blame. I could have just assigned blame to Paul. But why is it important? It moves the conversation forward productively. It also positions you as a problem solver rather than a complainer. Because if I just blame on Paul, I could have been exactly as Paul in his same position, in his same shoe. I would have been no different from Paul. So your action step is, next time you're faced with a disagreement, challenge yourself to propose 2 potential solutions before criticizing any ideas. Multiple solutions, the more the merrier. The more, the better. Now, remember that overlooked technique I promised at the beginning? Here it is. The power of strategic concession. When you're in an argument, look for a minor point you can concede. Acknowledge when the other person makes a valid point, even if you don't agree with the overall stance. It kind of ties back to one of the agreement acceptance, right? But this is so much more powerful. It demonstrates your fairness and openness to other perspectives. It often encourages the other person to reciprocate, leading to a more balanced and productive discussion. Now, how does this vary from one of my previous techniques that I just mentioned? It varies because this one is the overall stance, the overall perspective, the overall ideology of that person you don't agree with. But don't focus on seeing things in a negative lens. Broaden up your lens. Zoom out. Because in every single information that every single person is able to send to the world, there's at least 1 ounce of piece of gold you can retrieve from it. Now, I'm not saying it will be hard. Now, it differs from the other perspective, because the other perspective says you already know that person. You're in a heated discussion. Don't let your emotions take over, because you might regret something you may say or actions you may commit. Just find one common ground and use that so that the other person links to what you're about to say and you move forward. But with this one, the strategic concession, it's mainly that person you disagree with totally, right? But in every single piece of information a person can say, there's a piece of gold you can take from. So I challenge you to incorporate this strategic concession technique into your next disagreement. You might be surprised at how it transforms the dynamic of the conversation. Who knows, you might even realize afterwards that you have more things in common with that person than you initially thought, because of just surface level. Now, mastering the art of winning arguments without making enemies takes practice, but the rewards are immense. You'll find yourself resolving conflicts more effectively, building stronger relationships, and earning respect in both your personal and professional life. If you find value in this guide, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with the men in your life who aspire to be better communicators and problem solvers. Hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and join our community of modern gentlemen. Together, we can redefine what it means to be a man in today's world, one resolved conflict at a time. Until next time, this is Modern Chivalry, reminding you that true strength lies not in dominating arguments, but in finding solutions that work for everyone. Stay calm, stay empathetic, and keep refining your conflict resolution skills. Peace to you all.